Hi guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for September 26, 2021. Is that right? Yeah, okay. Sorry. So this week was, for me, another long week at work. I did a lot of overtime for me. I'm going to cut back this next week. I've caught up on everything from my vacation time. So I think I've finally am back into where I want to be. And I don't need to go in quite as early as I have been to do that. Cooper suddenly wants to get into that closet and it drives me crazy. They're not supposed to be. Anyway, so if you hear thumping, I'm going to be yelling at him again. I've already done it a couple times. So, anyway, so this week has been long that way. I didn't read quite as much as I wanted, but I also got some things done, but not, yeah, as I said, not as much because it didn't go quite as well as I was hoping. Anyway, so I don't have any really other news, except that I am really sick of trying to get quotes for windows for my house. I don't know if you guys have tried to get windows recently, but they are expensive. Well, actually, more of the install is expensive, except unless you go for one of the high ranking ones. And this week I had Renewal by Anderson come by, and holy moly, my sticker shock was real. Anyway, so I think we're going to go with someone else that's more local, but I mean, it's fine. It's just, I mean, they're local, but you know, like, they have an office, whatever. I don't know. Point is windows are expensive, but I know that it'll be good for the house, but still, ouch, painful for the pocketbook. Anyway, so, other than that, that was another stress this week, anyway, which I didn't read quite as much as I wanted, because I was stressing out about them coming over and doing that. But anyway, so let's talk about the books that I did finish, the ones that I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm going to read in the next week. So, this week I did the 30 things that I finished were all from the Kate Daniels series. Again, I am reading the series with Tia and all the books. We've been doing a buddy read since the beginning of the books. So most of the year so far we've been doing it, and so again we're trying to get done by the end of the year. We'll see how it goes. So I had 2 novellas or short stories that I need to read on Sunday, which I read after I filmed last week, and then one of the books. So first we read a Questionable Client, which is what is it considered? It's like 5.7, I think, in the series. No, this is 0.05. Sorry. This is the very, very first one. I'm getting the 2 short stories mixed up. So, because again, it has Simon or whatever it says his name in both of them. So this was actually before the books series starts. It's supposed to take place before Magic Bites. And again, it was published though between books 5.5 and 6, so we decided to read it during that time. So anyway, so this shows how Kate met him. And again, the Kate Daniels series is a series where the world magic has come back into the world, so it comes back in waves. And then when the magic's up, no technology works, and when the magic goes down, the technology will work. So it's a combination world of magic and tech, and the world kind of had a lot of issues with that because they can't predict when the magic waves will happen. So this, again, people who were shifters and stuff came out because the magic made it impossible to hide anymore. And it's a very interesting world. She starts out as a mercenary. So in this one, she is, again, working for the guild at that time, and she gets called out to be a personal bodyguard to him, and her first exposure to him in more ways than one. Anyway, I thought this was a really cute little story. It wasn't like perfect or anything. It was just a kind of like a little, it was like a kind of fan service in some ways, I think, to see how they met, because he does play a role in some of the books. So I did enjoy it. I do suggest reading this. I don't know if I would read it first though. I think it was a good idea to come back to that story. I mean, maybe not wait till after half the series, but at least I would not read it before you start Magic Bites, because I don't think it helps anything. And it's also more, when you know more about the things, I don't know, it was better that way. Anyway, I don't know, it was better later. Anyway, so I really enjoyed that one. And then we also read An Ill-Advised Rescue, which is 5.8 in the series, and it also has Simon in it, and Kate having to come and rescue him when he gets kidnapped for ransom. So this was just it was a really short a story. It was only 20 pages, about 22 pages. So it was really 23 pages, sorry. And so it was really short, and I would read it before you read the novel. This is number 6, which I'll talk about in a second. But this one, again, as I said, because stuff that happens in here starts, it connects to here. So I would read this first if you get this bind up of it. I didn't even know where we were going to get this story at first, because I was like, I saw it online and I'm like, where is this story? And I couldn't find it. And then when I got the book, I found it. It was funny. Anyway, so I finished that one. I also really enjoyed that. Again, both the short stories were short. And so they were just really quick. So I reread those both on Sunday. And then on Monday, we started our reading of Magic Rises. I think we both technically started this on Tuesday. Sorry, my brain. On Sunday, we actually kind of read a little bit to get started because we were already kind of in our Kate Daniels mode. So this week, we didn't hold to our reading schedule quite as well as we normally do. I think she got ahead because of a sleepless night one point, and then I think midway through the week, I think there's one day where I read quite a bit the night before so that I could finish it the next section like at lunchtime instead of waiting till after I got off work. So I was a little ahead that day, and then I had to wait till after the window people left to finish this on Thursday, because I was like, I'd finished it before he got there, I believe, or right earlier that day. And the last 50 pages I wanted to read, so I read it that night before I went to bed. So I stayed up a little bit to do that. Not too bad, actually. Well, no, I finished it right at bedtime, I think, and then, yeah. Anyway, so this one is book 6 in that series. This is definitely a departure from some of the other books, because it's more, they go to Europe to get this medication stuff for the shifter children. So there's a high percentage of them that will go loop, or will go wild in their teens because of all the hormones and all the magic and everything kind of swirling inside of them. And it's like 25% of them they lose, and they have to kill them. And so the Europe has found this cure, and the US just has not been able to get anybody to make it there, and to not so they don't have a good supply. They have a small supply, but it's so little. So they that's always been something that they're struggling with. Well, they get Curran gets asked to, who is the Beast Lord, gets asked to bodyguard a woman who is a shifter who is about to give birth to twins, who is in the middle of a dispute with Lan, with her father, as well as with her ex-husbands, who are both fathers. I don't know, I'm not saying this right. Point is, there's a lot of clans, like 3 other clans that are out for this pass in the Carpathian Mountains, and she is somehow the link to it. So they have to go out to be bodyguards, kind of that, and they'll get paid with this medicine. So that is why they go. And I think this one was one of the most, I had no idea where it was going, and it just kept going and going and going, and bad things kept happening, and I was feeling really bad for my characters. This was not a book that I did cry at one point, and then another part I was just so sad because of another character's problem, and then it was just it was a good book. This was one of my favorites for sure of the series. This is definitely a book I will reread, just because so many things are in here. I feel like I missed details that I'm going to need later because of the bad guy in here. Well, he's a bad guy, but I meant as in, I don't know, he was weird. I liked how we got to know a lot about him. He wasn't there was more to him that I think than we know. So I did like that. So overall, a really good installment in the series to me, and I'm looking forward to continuing on the series. So as I said, we'll read more into the next week. So while I was reading that, I was also trying to read Sleeping Late on Judgment Day by Tad Williams. So this is a book that is a series. Again, Tad Williams is one of my favorite authors. You give me any of his books that are the big, chunky, huge ones, I love. This is his one series that's like that's really urban fantasy. I mean, there's a couple of them that kind of cross a little bit with that, but not as fully as this. This is like an urban fantasy. We're following Bobby Dollar, who is an angel, and he works for heaven, and he is kind of an advocate for people when they pass away. He helps them, you know, gets through the trial to get them to heaven, or the prosecutors, which are the demons, they are trying to get them to go to hell. So he deals with, that's his job. But he gets kind of, in the first book, Dirty Streets of Heaven, he comes into possession of something that turns his whole world upside down, and people are then after him, and he doesn't know who to trust, and it's a, you know, it's very much a, there's demons and angels, and then there's other things and still as well, and monsters that come out, and there's just great characters in it. So I really enjoyed book 1 when I read it back in like 2012, and then 2013 the next book came out, and I read Happy Hour in Hell, but I think they were coming out, I don't remember. There was some kind of delay. Even though they came out one a year, there was a delay. I think they were in hardback first. And so I didn't read them, the second one right away. And then the third one came out, and I tried it one time and I didn't get into it. And because I thought, oh, I need to reread the second one, because a lot of things happen in Happy Hour in Hell. And I just never got to it. So now we are 5 years later, over that probably. And I just want to finish this series. This is one of the last ones of my completed series that I have had the last book forever and not read it. So, but the problem is I'm not enjoying this. So I love urban fantasy and I love Tad Williams, but I just have I don't care about this story. And I think it's because it has been too long, and I did not reread the other 2 books, but I can't see myself rereading them. Like right now, to spend that much time to do that. So I got 125 pages in, and I'm kind of bored. I mean, things are happening. It's not like it's boring. It's just, I just don't care. So I think I'm going to do something that I really don't normally do, is I'm going to start skimming, and I'm going to do at least a little bit, and then maybe I'll get back into it farther in. But right now I'm just like, he's doing because Bobby can be annoying. And he's doing the thing where, like a lot of urban fantasy detective ones, where, you know, he's trying to solve this problem, which makes sense why he's doing it and why. It's just that he just complicates things, I guess is what I want to say. And I just don't know if I really care. So, but I want to finish the series and this series is done. So I think I'm going to give it a little bit more time, and just, as I said, I'm going to skim a little bit, and then I'm not going to count pages when I skim, but I'm just going to, for me, I just want to know how it ends. So, we'll see. As I said, it's just, yesterday I was like, I read a couple pages and I'm like, nah, I don't feel like it. So I picked up something else, which I'll show you in a second. But it's just, I don't know. So I'm not sure about this one. And it's really sad because it's a Tad Williams. But I know I'm going to get rid of this series once I finish this, because I am not going to reread these ever. So, but I've had them, and I just want to finish it. I want to finish the series. I want to know how it comes around, because I do want to know the ending to this. It's just, I'm just having trouble reading it. So we'll see. But anyway, that's what I'm currently reading. I'm also, again, still reading Dune. It's kind of like the last thing I read before bed. I usually like the last hour I let myself read Dune. So I'm at 240 pages. So I'm almost half, not quite yet. So this one is, again, going swimmingly. I love Dune. I always forget the changes between this and some of the adaptations I've seen. So it has been, as I said, I think it's been 7 or 8 years since I read this, maybe longer. I think, it was 8 or 9, maybe, I don't know how many years. It's been a long time since I read it the last time, which I'm surprised at. So I need to get better on, only a couple years before I reread it. But I'm really enjoying it. Again, as I said, this is one of those books I have read quite a few times, and I enjoy it every time I reread it. So, and I don't expect to finish this one by the end of the month, because I'm just reading it before the movie comes out here, because I am going to definitely go see that. But I just want to, as I said, I'm just reading it slowly, so a little bit here and there. I just, you know, it's just kind of like my treat at the end of the night. So I haven't picked up Boneshard Daughter by Andrea Stewart this week. I didn't listen to audiobooks at all, except for like 20 minutes, which I'll talk about in a second. But I will get to this this next week. I want to finish this by the end of the month. So again, I'm only 40% in. I have like 5.5 hours on the audiobook. I'm going to get that done. I just wanted to mention it. So the audiobook that I started was because a library hold came through, and so I'm reading Rogue Protocol by Martha Wells. So this is book 3 in the Murderbot series. I read the first 2 as they came out, and then this one I've had trouble always getting into it. So I tried to read it twice. I think from ebook, or I got it from the library physically once, and then I got an ebook once, and then I just couldn't do it. So I got the audio from my library to read, and so far I only read about 12%. So not very many pages. So was that like 15, probably about 20 pages. So I'm not very far into it, but I figured this week I'm also going to listen to this maybe first and then get to the Boneshard Daughter. But I do want to read this again. This is what I'm doing for Series September and Space Opera September. It's just, I want to get further into the Murderbot series, and I think maybe audio will be the way I go from now on. I'm not sure. So far the audio is really good. I think it's done by Jefferson Mays, I think. But anyway, I'll have to find out for sure what the audiobook is. But I do hope to, as I said, I'll hopefully finish both those audiobooks this week. We'll see what happens. And then the book that I picked up yesterday was Talibans War by James S.A. Corey. This is book 2 in the Expanse series. So I read book 1, Leviathan Wakes, 2 years ago for Space Opera September. So I did want to come back and get back to this series. I just keep putting it off, and I don't know why, because it's really a fast, easy read. I mean, it still takes time because this book is huge. I mean, the print isn't huge, but there's a lot on a page because it's a big book. Anyway, so it's a almost 600-page book. So I know I have to read so much a day to get it done by Thursday to be the end of the month. So that's my goal, is to, I read 150 pages yesterday, so I'm hoping to get close to that today, and then I just need to, read, split up the last 300 between the last 4 days and make sure I get this done. Really enjoying this. Again, this is a space opera of the our solar system kind of thing, and there's people who live in the belts who are called belters, and then there are people who live on Mars and those on Earth, and something happens where I think it's an ice crawler or someone who brings ice in to the solar system for water purposes. They come across an abandoned ship, and that things start happening from there. I don't want to go much into it because everybody else knows, but again, this one takes place a little bit after book 1, so it's kind of, things are still really interesting things. There are some really cool really great characters I've enjoyed so far that have been introduced in this book that were not in the first book, and then again, there's some characters returning that I'm enjoying. So overall, it's been a good read so far. Again, I'm only 150 out of 600, so I'm 25% of the way through, but I'm hoping to make a lot of progress this next week. So that's really all I have planned for this week. I don't have anything, I don't know what I'm going to read after I get through. I'm hoping at the end of September I finish all these books that I'm in the middle of, except for Dune. So I might focus on Dune after that, or because it'll be Victober or October, yeah, so I might start my first Victober read. I'm not positive what that's going to be yet. I haven't decided if I want to pick up a smaller book, which could be an easy read that first weekend, or if I want to jump into the real big chunker that I've picked out. I'm not sure yet, so I don't know how that's going to go. We'll see how I feel. But that's all the books that I've read and what I'm in the middle of and what I'm going to read. I do want to do my board real quick because it's going to be really simple, because I'm just adding 3 little marks on my series continue, because that's all I did. Everything else is pretty much the same. I haven't changed anything. Oops, and then I knocked the camera. Sorry. Anyway, so I think that's it. So anyway, what are you guys reading? Are you guys trying to get some of your stuff done before the end of the month? Again, as I said, Victober is coming. Victober is coming. Anyway, I'm so excited. And if I didn't say so before, I kind of mentioned it, but like I'm doing Space Opera September that's put on by Thomas at SFF 180, and Series September put on by Krista at Books and Jams and Sarah's Nightstand. So a lot of the books I've been picking up this month has been series related, which is why my numbers are kind of high over here. But I think it's been good, and it's kind of made me remember how much I love series and why, I don't know why I keep putting off so many. I just need to find a way to focus on them again, I think. More, because this month has been really great of picking up stuff like that, although I did start a few series, which was not the plan, but that's fine. Anyway, I think that's kind of it. I hope you guys are reading well. Are you guys looking forward to Victober? Has your September reads gone as well as you were hoping? Mine are gone up and down all week, all month, so we'll see what happens at the end. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.